Hello, welcome to Spirituality Simplified. I'm so excited for today's episode, which is Spirit Guides Simplified. This is such a great topic. I know a lot of people are really interested in this. People ask me a lot of questions about this. So, this was definitely one of the first episodes that I wanted to go into. So, we'll talk all about, what are spirit guides? Why do you want to connect with them? How do you connect with them? And all sorts of good stuff. So this is a real juicy episode. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this. So I just wanted to remind you as well that all of this information will be posted on my website, which is soulhealingwithallie.com. And it's under my blog page, and the blog is Spirit Guides 101. So everything I'm talking about, if you're listening and you don't have a chance to write anything down, just go to my website. You can find all of the notes from this episode essentially in my blog. Okay, so let's dive right in. Spirit guides. Wow. What are spirit guides? So every single soul has what I call a spiritual support system. The spiritual support system consists of so many different guides. There's spirit guides, there's angels, archangels, animals, animal totems. There's guides that are assigned for specific specialties. Your ancestors are your guides. Your past loved ones are your guides. You have masters and teachers and Mother Earth and crystals and plants and the four elements. And I mean, these are all your spiritual support system. And they're here to help you on this earth in this lifetime. And, let's just face it, life on earth is not easy, but your soul chose specifically to come here for a reason. There's always a higher purpose, right? And you come here to learn lessons so that you can evolve your soul and to become enlightened to where you don't have to reincarnate anymore. And you don't have to keep coming back to learn these lessons and going through all these difficulties and hardships and all of that. And so as you're going through these hard times, but you're learning so much and you're evolving. But you're not alone. That's what's so great about it. Is yes, it's so difficult, and there's times where you're like, I can't go on. But you don't. You always have support. You have physical resources here on Earth, but you also have support from Source, and from your angels and your guides and all of the spiritual support team. They're waiting and ready to help you because you're here to help you live your most fulfilling, joyful, happy, loving lives. You're not meant to be miserable all the time here on earth. I promise you. You are meant to be joyful. And your guides are here to help you. They're here to help remind you of this. They're here to help you stay on track and to, kind of nudge you back onto the right path so that you can fulfill your purpose here. And so you want to make sure you're on the path that's aligned with you and that you can accomplish your goal that you set out to do before you even got here. So they are here to help you. So it's such a great resource, and I really encourage everyone. I know this is an interesting kind of like, whoa, topic for a lot of people, but I really do encourage you to at least try to connect with your guides because they're so excited and they are waiting for you to connect. So I'm really excited to talk about this today. And so I want to talk a little bit more about, what are spirit guides, and we'll go into, how to connect and all that good stuff. So each soul has a guide who is specifically assigned to them. And this guide stays with them throughout their entire lifetime and all of their lifetimes. It could be on Earth, it could be on other planets, But this guide is staying with you forever, right? Now, we also have other guides that come in and out of our life whenever we need them. And again, you may have one guide, you may have 50. Every single person is completely different. And so that'll be kind of part of the fun when you start exploring, how many guides do I have? And it might change as well. Again, sometimes they come in and out of your life depending on what you're going through. So you might have a team of 10 guys that are working with you, but sometimes maybe you only need a couple. So again, it really varies. Um, Spirit guides are essentially, they're sent here from God or source, the divine, whatever higher power you believe in. They are sent from this source to help us and to help everyone evolve and to help us live our most authentic and purposeful lives. And again, there's resources here on earth such as therapists and coaches and spiritual guides and healers and all sorts of good stuff, but you also have your own team that is there helping you from kind of behind the scenes, but to keep you on track. So let's talk about, what do spirit guides help you with? So a big one is they help provide guidance. They guide you on certain choices to make. So, being on earth, we are blessed and probably kind of cursed with having free will, because with free will means you have choices. And, with choices, of course, comes consequences and responsibility. So, we have all probably made some poor choices in our life, right? And we've suffered the consequences. But our guides are here to kind of keep you on track and to keep you in line and to help you make the right choices that are aligned and will keep you on your path. They're also here to remind you how amazing you are and how perfect you are. This is so incredible. If you're having a bad day, you're feeling down on yourself, connect with your spirit guides and ask them to show you how they see you. That is really powerful. And or ask them to, have you feel what it feels like. You will feel so much love and so much support, and you will know in your heart that you're not alone and that you don't have to do this all by yourself. So anytime you need that emotional support and that boost, absolutely contact your spirit guides. They can help you. Um, they also provide comfort during times of need. There's going to be times where we all go through something challenging. You lose someone or something, a pet or a person, a family member, whatever difficult situation you're faced with. You can call upon your spirit guides to help you get through that situation. They will give you comfort and strength to get through it. And, there's so many times that you probably felt like, I can't do this. I can't go on. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know if I can get through another day. Whatever it is, if you ever get to that point, please connect with your guides. They will help you get through it. I promise you. It's amazing. They also can give you that extra boost of confidence and courage and strength. So, let's say you're about to go into a difficult situation, such as maybe giving a presentation or you're going into a job interview, and you really need that extra boost of confidence. Ask your spirit guides to connect with you. Ask them to help you throughout that interview. Ask them to help you communicate and articulate your words. Ask them to give you the strength to be yourself and to be authentic and to show your soul gifts and your strengths. It's amazing. They also, spirit guides are great protectors. They are here to protect you from negative situations, negative energies, negative people, places, whatever. They help keep you out of harm's way. And I call upon my guides all the time and ask for protection. because they're there. That's what they're there for. So if I can get a little extra protections that makes me feel better, I'm going to do that. And they are more than willing to help, I promise. So, essentially, spirit guides are your most trusted confidant and ally. They're incredible. So, let's talk about what are some common questions that you can ask your spirit guides. There's better questions than others, right? So we'll talk about, kind of ways to frame your questions to be able to get the best guidance. One of the first questions that a lot of people want to know, what is my true purpose here? What is my calling? Why am I here on this earth? What can I do to live the most fulfilling, balanced, loving life that I can while I'm here? And that's an awesome question. Everybody should ask that question. What are my soul gifts? That's another great question. What are my strengths? What can I do? How can I apply these strengths? What are certain career paths that fulfill these strengths, that allow me to utilize these strengths? Career is a big one that a lot of people, I was a career coach before, and I kind of blended the spiritual and the coaching because they really go hand in hand. A lot of times people want to know, is this the right career path for me? Is this career aligned with my purpose? Is this going to be a fulfilling career? What are some other career paths that are aligned? There's a lot of job related, career related questions that you can ask your guides and get that spiritual guidance to help keep you on track, to make sure you're living that joyful, happy life. Let's see okay. So another one too talking about the protection. I say this all the time. Like if I'm going on a road trip, even if I'm going to the grocery store, every time I get in the car, I ask my spirit guides to protect me, to protect my vehicle, protect me and anybody else in the car, and keep me safe and out of harm's way. Absolutely. Anytime you want protection, they are there. So that's a great one. Help me to clear and align my chakras. They can help you. We have energetic bodies as well. We have a physical body, but we have an energy body. And we'll talk about this in future episodes in more detail. But just know you do have an energy body, and you can pick up a lot of energies from people, from buildings, homes, places. I mean, you name it. You can pick up all sorts of stuff that you don't need. It's not healthy for you. So you can ask your guides to clear your energy system, clear any negative, harmful energies that have attached to me, align my chakras. If you're feeling a little off balance, maybe you kind of notice you're just not feeling quite yourself. Maybe there's a chakra that's unbalanced, and again, we'll talk about this in a future episode. But your guides can help balance your chakras so that you're feeling back to your 100% self again. Another great question that I ask my guides almost on a daily basis, and this is a great starter question, is what do I need to know right now? Or what do I need to know today? These are great questions. It helps you kind of set that stage for the day. Like, what can I do today to fulfill my purpose? What can I do to stay aligned today? These are great questions. A good way to really get to know and connect with your guides. And again, we talked about this before, give me the strength to get through this difficult event or time. They are always there to help you and give you that strength and courage that you need. Okay, so that was a lot of information. I'm taking a little drink here. Okay, so you're probably wondering, all right, this is great information, but how do I connect with my spirit guides? Okay, so it's actually pretty simple. It doesn't have to be a difficult process. Now, there are lots of guided meditations out there that you can certainly listen to if that resonates with you. If you feel called to do that, definitely explore and play with that. But you can also just get into a calm, meditative state and try to do it yourself. So I always recommend, especially the first time, if you're just doing this for the very, very first time, I definitely recommend getting into that clear and centered space before you connect. So, I recommend doing a little bit of a meditation beforehand. And the reason why is because when your body and your mind are clear and calm, then you're able to receive information better and more clearly. So I always recommend, if you're going to try this out, try to find a quiet space where you're not going to be disturbed. And you might want to put on, some music if you want, maybe some instrumental or some spa type music if that resonates with you, to kind of help you get into that meditative state. Um, you you want to start taking some deep breaths. Deep breaths and breathing is such a great way to calm yourself. It calms your mind, it calms your body, and it really helps you to connect with your body and your true self and really connect with that center and who you are. It's that breath, that vitality that's really, it's like, this is my body. I am here and I am in this moment. And the breathing really does help you to kind of calm down, especially if your mind is really, if you have a hard time, relaxing and shutting off your mind, like all the million thoughts that are racing through your mind. This is a great way. Just focus on your breathing. Just focus, you can count, breathe in 5, hold for 5 counts, and then breathe out for 5. And then go to 4, 3, 2, 1. You may want to breathe in, calm, like breathe in calm, breathe out stress. Whatever feels good for you and whatever works for you. Try a couple different things to see what works. But this is a good way. This just kind of helps you to get calm and centered and connected with your heart space. So once you've taken a few breaths, then you can ask or you make this following statement. So this is an important statement. And again, this is in my blog if you want to see it actually written out. But it's really important to ask or make this specific statement or something close to it. It doesn't have to be exact, but I'll kind of break down the statement and talk about why you say these certain things. But let me tell you what the statement is first, and then we'll go through it. I ask to connect right now with my most sacred and most divine spirit guides. I ask that any information or guidance that comes through serves my greatest and highest good or better. So it's pretty simple, right? But it's very powerful. And let's go through this. So I ask to connect right now. So you want to make sure when you're connecting with spirit, because time doesn't really exist on the spiritual plane. That's a whole other topic. If you're interested, I highly recommend you can Google that, and it's an interesting read for sure. So you have to ensure that, okay, I need you right now. So you got to make sure to state that. So I ask to connect right now with my most sacred and most divine spirit guides. So this is really important because spirit is all around us, and there's different levels of spirit. There's good spirits, not so good spirits, and you want to make sure that you are connecting with your highest level guides, the closest to source. There's lower level energies and spirits all around us, and they're not always bad. They just haven't evolved as high as some of your guides have. Or they may not be a guide. They might just be a spirit. Some of them get, kind of hang around Earth and, so those are not the ones that you want to connect with. When you're getting guidance, you want to ensure that you are getting the best, the most accurate, and closest to source guidance possible. And to ensure that, then this is what that statement is ensuring, that you're connecting with your most sacred and your most divine spirit guides of the highest light and the highest vibration. So those high vibrational guides, that's who you really want to connect with. So that statement, again, see how powerful that is? It's simple, but it's powerful. Now, the second statement or the second sentence is really setting that intention and just ensuring that all the guidance or information that you receive serves your greatest and highest good or better. So, this is something that you say when you do any kind of spiritual work. You could be working with tarot cards or oracle cards or a pendulum or whatever you're doing. You always want to ensure that whatever information comes through intuitively is serving your greatest and highest good. That's really important. So that's the statement, right? So once you say that statement or something close, there's lots of variations. If that doesn't resonate, feel free to Google and see if there's something else out there. But you get the gist of what you're trying to ensure, and you make sure you get the highest guides and for your best good. So once you say that statement to yourself, notice how you feel. This is the time you're receiving information. Information comes through so many different ways, and it's different for every single person. So you have to see what comes through for you. You know, after you say that statement, did you feel any physical sensations? Maybe you felt some tingling. I get tingling a lot, actually. Maybe you felt some heat in a certain part of your body, or even around you. Did you feel any emotions? Did you feel like a wave of love just wash over you? Did you see anything? Did you see any visuals or images? It could be a light. It could be colors. You could actually see an image of an actual being or a person. Did you hear any words? Did you hear words come through? It's speaking to you. Did you smell anything? So, as you can tell, intuitive information from your true self and your spirit guides, it comes through your five senses. And these are what we call clairs. So it's like clairvoyant. You probably have heard that before. So it's the way that you receive information. And it's different for every single person. There's no right or wrong way. Everybody does something different. I actually tend to receive information a couple different ways. So I hear words. I also see images and visuals, and I also feel things. So, but there's some people who get this information through smell. It's amazing. So you could have one way that works for you. You could have multiple ways, and this is something that you'll start to learn and notice. And it takes a little bit of practice, but just keep going, keep doing it, and you'll start to notice, and it'll just click one day. That's what happened with me. I started meditating and trying to receive information, and I just kept going, and then all of a sudden I just started seeing visuals. I started seeing past lives and I started feeling things. Like it was incredible. And I think it's opening yourself up to receiving. That's really the key. So I think that's it on that one. Okay, so we talked about, connecting with your main guide. So you have a main guide. You might want to start there, right? When you're trying to connect with your guides, start with your main spirit guides that are with you throughout all of your lifetimes. But you may want to call upon a spirit guide for something very specific. You have some kind of need. And so you need a guide that specializes in that need. So again, you would want to ask for the most sacred and most divine spirit guide, but ask for whatever you're looking for specifically. So I'll tell you a story about one time when I was starting to connect with my spirit guides, and I specifically wanted a guide to help me to love myself more. So I asked the universe and I said, please send me a divine and sacred spirit guide that can help me to love myself and to see myself for who I truly am. So the universe sent me Archangel Jophiel. And we'll talk about angels. That's actually going to be my next episode. So I'm excited about that too. So spirit guides and angels are very similar, but Archangel Jophiel was sent to me, and she is the angel of love and positivity and beauty and grace and compassion and all these amazing things. And so she worked with me for several months. I called upon her in my meditations for months, and I really, really started to feel so much love for me, which in turn I felt love for others too. It was a beautiful thing, and she specifically came to help me with this need. So I am eternally grateful for her help, and she kind of will come in and out if I need it and if I need her. And so there's lots of guides or angels that specialize in certain things. So depending on what you need, you can call upon a guide to help you. Um, Now, one thing was kind of fun with this same story. So, when you are beginning to work with your spirit guides, it's kind of fun to ask them to send you a sign, right? So, this kind of helps reassure you that they are with you, that they're there. So, when I called upon Archangel Jophiel, I was like, okay, I want to know that you're with me. So, please send me a sign of a purple frog. Okay, so I was trying to think of something kind of random and weird. Like, okay, I'm not gonna say send me a bird or something that you can see every day. I wanted something kind of weird. So just think of something really creative that you're like, no way, no, I'm not gonna see that. Well, sure enough, about 5 days later, so it's not immediate. Sometimes it takes a few days. But about 5 days later, I was shopping with my mom and my sister in this little antique store. And I was just kind of walking along. And then I turned the corner, and right there was this purple frog. And I just got chill. I'm getting chills talking about it. I was so overcome with emotion because it was so meaningful and comforting to know that she was with me and that she's there and she's supporting me and loving me and that it worked. So, ask for a sign. They're happy to do that for you. So that's kind of something a little fun, when you're trying to connect with your guides. Okay, so let's talk about, how do you receive information? So, we talked a little bit about the different ways that the information will come through. But you're also, some people hear messages, some feel them, right? Or see visuals or images or what have you. But you also might start to notice synchronicities. So synchronicities are like if you find yourself constantly looking at the clock at 11:11 or maybe 2:22, or you keep seeing the same number over and over everywhere you go. Or you might see feathers in your path. Let's say you're walking in your neighborhood and you see this feather in the middle of your path. That could be a sign from your guides letting you know, hey, I'm with you, you're on the right path, and I'm helping you every step of the way. Now, the synchronicities too, let's say you're seeing these numbers, that can be interpreted a couple different ways. So those can be considered what they say angel numbers. We can talk about that in the future as well. But synchronicities really they just mean, hey, it could be a couple things. One, hey, we're with you and you're on the right track, right? Or it could be your guides kind of nudging you to pay attention and say, hey, pay attention to what you were just thinking or just doing. So, there's a couple different things, and it's something to definitely think about. So, like, let's say you look at the clock at 11:11 and you notice, you're like, wow, I just looked at it. Take a moment and say and think about, okay, what was I just doing, or what was I just thinking about? Right? So let's say you look at the clock and you were just thinking, gosh, I really need to call my mom. I haven't talked to her in a while. I'm feeling like I need to call her. That could be your guides like nudging you and saying, yes, do it. Call your mom. She would love to hear from you. um, you could also, let's say you look at the clock at 11:11, and let's say you were thinking something negative, like, gosh, I just feel so unattractive today. This could be your guides getting your attention and saying, hey, stop the negative self chatter. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You are perfect just the way you are, exactly where you are. So there's a couple different things, and I would just stop and pay attention and think about it and try to open yourself to receiving those messages and to see what your guides are trying to communicate to you. Um, but again, every person is different. The key is to practice. Um, just try it every day. Take a couple minutes to just center. It's a good practice anyway, right? Because we all live hectic, busy, anxiety-ridden lives, especially right now. Um, so take some time, to really practice connecting with your guides. You'll start to become more aware, and you know, doing a guided meditation, or doing the meditation beforehand is really helpful too, because it'll open up your chakras, especially your crown chakra, which is your connection to spirit, your third eye chakra, which is helping you to see clearly, and then your heart chakra, of course, which is your essence, your soul. I mean, this is your heart, right? So when you're opening up those chakras, and it's allowing that information to come through, it's allowing you to receive whatever information you need. Um, so when should you connect with your spirit guides? That's another question that I often get. I do every day. So there's, whenever you feel called to, if you get that hit, like kind of that intuitive hit, like, hey, this might be a good time to connect with your guides, do it. Follow that inspiration. Your guides, this is one thing I want to mention too, which is interesting. So your guides are always with you. They are always there, but you have to ask them to help you. They will not intervene in your life unless you ask. So this kind of goes along with what we were talking about earlier with the free will, right? Because we have free will, you have the free will to make your own choices. And so spirit guides and angels, like, they have to step back, and they can't interfere unless you ask them for their help. So, the only time that a guide or an angel will ever interfere is if it's part of your divine plan. So, let's say, for example, you're entering into, a dangerous situation that's life-threatening. Your guides may swoop in and save your life without you asking because it's not your time. So, just know that. But for the most part, they're not going to interfere. So you have to consciously ask them for their help. But they are always willing and very glad to help you at any time that you need. Okay, so this was a lot of information, I know, but really just the goal is, when you're connecting with your spirit guides, you're connecting with your true self. And really, at the end of the day, like, that is the ultimate goal of what we need to do to live our best lives on this earth. To really connect with your inner guidance, your intuition, your soul, your true self, whatever you want to call it, that ultimately is the goal. Because when you connect with your true self, then you're connecting with spirit, and you're making the right choices, and you have that confidence, and you're able to live the life that you were meant to live. Again, we are meant to live really happy, fun, loving, joyful, exciting lives. Even when we're dealing with all sorts of craziness like this year. um, but again, that will help you. You're harnessing your intuition, connecting with your guides, this is all just building that. It is heightening your intuition. It's helping you, make good decisions and move throughout your life a lot easier. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So, I think that was pretty much it. Again, take time to connect, get to know how your guides interact with you, practice connecting with them as much as possible. I encourage people too to keep a journal. Keep a journal of your experiences. How was that for you? What sensations did you experience? What messages came through? This is such a great way to really connect and look back. Once you've been journaling for a while, it's so interesting to look back at previous entries and to see how far you've come and to see how much more your intuition has been heightened. It's fascinating. Um, again, connecting with spirit, paying attention to the signs increases your intuition, which in turn will help you connect to your true self and center. And again, it's going to help you live that loving, amazing life that you were born to live. Okay, so again, that's it for today. This is on my blog, on my website. Be sure to comment. You can go to my Spirituality Simplified YouTube channel, write a comment. If you have any questions, you can ask them there. Share your story. I'd love to hear your story. Maybe you've already connected with your guides. Let's hear about your first experience, or try the steps that we talked about today, and then comment on how did that go for you. I would love to hear that, and we can all share our amazing experiences connecting with spirit. Okay, so again, feel free to ask questions if you need to, and if you prefer to watch this, you can watch it on the Spirituality Simplified YouTube channel. You can find it on my website or any of the podcasting platforms. So thanks again so much for joining me today. This was a really special topic that is very near and dear to my heart. And I connected with my guides before this and asked them for their help in saying everything I needed to say. I'm like, we're talking about you guys today, so whatever needs to come through, you just let me know. So again, I wish you all the best of luck with your connection exercises and connecting with your guides. And I hope that you remember to keep it spiritual, but keep it simple. Thanks so much. Have a great day.